All right, welcome everybody. We got part 3 of our Support Your Local Box workout today. So let's go ahead and start a timer and we'll get some warm up going. We're gonna start with jog in place here. So 30 seconds of each movement, just follow along with me. Got 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy, just warming up your knees, your legs, your ankles. Feel free to shake those wrists out. I did a bunch of pull-ups yesterday, so my forearms are kind of sore. This helps a little bit. Just get things moving. We're about halfway through. The next move we're gonna do is some active Samson. So basically we're taking that forward lunge and we're gonna reach our arms up into the sky. About 5 more seconds here. So get ready to transition here. You step forward, have your feet about hip width apart, and then lunge, stand tall. You want to keep that knee over the ankle, so you don't want to extend all the way over your toes. Now we're pushing back strong with that front leg. If you want to throw in a little rotation there, you can do that. 10 more seconds. Now we're going to go into some glute bridge. So transitioning into your glute bridge, you're going to pulse it out here. So hands brush the heels and then just drive with your hips up to the sky. We're going to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings. Just nice and easy. Cycle through some reps here. Warms up the glutes, warms up the core. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, get those arms up in the sky so you don't have any support from your arms on the ground. Next move we're going to come into some high knees in place. So just like this, find a target with your hands. Nice and easy. Try to bring those knees above the waistline. If that's too intense, you can step it out. We're trying to get the blood flowing a little bit here, trying to get a bit of sweat going. So enjoy this warm up. After these high knees, in about 10 seconds here, we're gonna cool it down a little bit with a Spider-Man, active Spider-Man stretch. Transitioning here. 3, 2, 1. So to the Spider-Man, bring that foot up. Bring it back to a plank, foot up. And as you get warm here, you can start trying to sink that elbow down next to the forward foot. Do a little deeper stretch. Nice active movement here. 10 more seconds. Then we're going to alternate into a single leg alternating glute bridge. So, glute bridge position. One leg up, we're going to raise, and then alternate, and just switch sides, driving through the heel, bringing the hips up to the sky. Starting to feel warm. So 10 more seconds here. We're going to go into some butt kickers and transition out of this. And the butt kickers, again, nice and easy. We're trying to keep your quads pointing straight towards the floor. Just bring your heels up to the glutes. If that's too intense, you can step it out. As much as you can, I encourage you to try to run it out. You're gonna get really warm for this workout today. About 10 more seconds. We're gonna go into a reverse lunge. We covered the forward lunge with the Samsons. So alternating here, try to keep those hands up, and we're gonna step back. And just gently touch the reverse knee to the floor. Trying to keep 90-degree angles in both knees if you can. Keep your chest up. Keep your hips square. So we don't want to find ourselves alternating or sort of sinking the hips down to one side. Nice and strong. Nice and consistent. And next we got some scissor kicks. So I'm going to lay down on the ground here. Arms to the side. You're going to take turns with your feet. So the scale version is resting one foot on the ground each time. If you can, keep those feet about 6 inches off the ground and just alternate here. Really warming up that core. We got a bunch of ab mat setups today. It's supposed to be strict too, so gotta be nice and warm for it. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we finished the warm-up portion there. We're going to go over all the movements for the workout and then get a little extra warm-up with them. So, I don't know how much of this you can see, but during the workout, support your local box number 3. For time, we're doing 20-minute cap here, but if you can finish this, we're going for time. 50 dumbbell deadlifts, 50 ab mat sit-ups, 50 box step-ups, and then 50 one-arm dumbbell thrusters. And I'm gonna go through all these individually here. So starting with your 50 dumbbell deadlift. If you don't have dumbbells, grab a couple of cans of soup, whatever objects you need, and then we're gonna work on these deadlifts a little bit. So go ahead and get ready to stand with me. Starting your deadlift, it's a hip hinge movement, so we're gonna shoot those hips back, and then as soon as we get to the knee, we're gonna start bending the knees, and just tap your cans or your dumbbells on the floor there, and then we're gonna straighten with the knees, and as we get to the knees, start to bring those hips into it, and then stand at full extension here. So we're gonna practice 10 of those, starting with the hips back, bend the knees, object to the ground, stand tall, hips back, keep your chest tall and proud. Coach Vic always likes to say like an angry gorilla. It's a great cue. Big proud chest the whole time. You're gonna keep your low back straight in the knees. Only squat as far as you need to after you've gotten your object to the knees here. Just a few more. So if you're gonna scale these, obviously you can do lighter weights, you can do no weights. If you've got issues with low back, find a low object. I don't really have anything else here, but even though we're gonna be doing step-ups, you can also alternate your deadlifts with some step-ups here. Something stable, of course. Don't use a dumbbell. We're just trying to activate the hips a little bit. So that's a good option for alternatives on the dumbbells. So next move we got here is going to be our ab mat sit-ups. So for these, you're gonna start, if you have an ab mat, you want the fatter side right up against your glute on the ground. If you don't have one of these, roll up a towel, roll up a sweatshirt, just put something underneath your back. So for the strict movement here, what we're gonna do is bring your feet together in that butterfly position. Starting position is with your shoulders down on the ground, arms forward. So we're trying not to kick with the arms on this one. And then we're gonna sit up here tall, bringing our shoulders past the plane of the hips here. So again, sit up tall. If you do want to scale with a little bit of momentum from your arms, that's an option. If you want to anchor your feet with something, find some dumbbells here. That can also add a little bit of assistance. You put some weight on your feet. It helps you use your hip flexors to bring that torso upwards. So everybody go ahead and practice 10 or whatever movement you're gonna do with me. Focus on getting your shoulders down to the ground every time, and then sitting up tall with your chest through the plane of the hips. So 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's your ab variant. If ab mat sit-ups are too much, there's all sorts of things you can do. You can have your knees in, do these sort of cyclers. You can do little flutter kicks. You can do just simple crunches. Just get 50 of an abdominal movement in there. So the next thing we're gonna do is box step-ups. So for these, it's important to keep a hip width stance, and then whatever you're stepping up on, I have a whole stack of plates here. You can have a chair, a bench. If you've got a little step aerobics thing like that, computer's on there, you can use that, but we just want to bring the full foot up on the object, drive through that foot, and then stand up tall with the full hip extension. I went out of frame there a little bit, but basically, once we stand up tall, we don't want to get up here on the box and finish like this. We want to finish all the way up, those hips out. And then we're just going to alternate sides. 1, 2. So go ahead and give me 10 alternating step-ups. That's 5 each leg. We start 1, 2, full hip extension each time. 3, 4, 5. As you keep going here, again, you want to make sure that you're keeping a stable stance, feet wide, hip width apart, getting the whole foot up on that object. You don't want to start the toe. You lose a little bit of stability, you might hurt yourself. We don't want any of that happening. Just make sure you got a stable platform, drive through the front, hip extension at the top. All right, so the last movement we're gonna do before we get into the WOD here is our one arm dumbbell thruster or single arm dumbbell thruster. And the point of performance for this one is we want that chest tall. We're gonna go basically into a nice front squat position. As you imagine having one arm up on a bar doing your front squat. We're gonna go down to where your hips break the plane of the knees. And then as we drive up through the full foot, we're gonna get to the top, open those hips, and use the momentum to throw that object up overhead. So on these movements in the workout, you don't have to alternate arms. If you want to do all 50 on one side, go ahead and do that, be my guest. I recommend switching every 5, every 10, so you get even amounts on each side. So let's go ahead and get 5 on each arm here. We're gonna squat all the way down, chest tall, stand up, press, finish with the bicep by the head. And then on your way down, catch it on your way into the squat. You can do this with a can of soup, with a pillow, with a book, whatever you need, whatever you have. Alternate to the other side, full squat, stand tall, drop the hips, and then finish that object with your bicep by the ear. Catching it on the way down, keeping your other arm out for support, and just cycling through. So there's our movements. We finished our warm up. Go ahead and get some water. Take a little stretch break if you want to, and we're gonna come back for the WOD.